Welcome to the Valley Urban Farm. Busy with our morning chores. Won't go through all the chores as we did a nice long video on that in the last episode. This of course is episode number 18. Lots of things happening in this episode, but as usual we still have to do some morning work before we can get through to improving or upgrading or developing our farm. So we just picked up some cotton and let's pop that into the warehouse. That is a project that we have on the books. Has not started yet, the building of the clothing factory. It's more a question of where I'm going to put that. I don't want to put it too close to the town. I will have a look perhaps around the pig farm or around the oil production area to see if there's any suitable land there. But we have a diversification project on the go, which will start in this episode. Very exciting. Just takes us a little bit away from our current comfort zone of producing product and produce mainly for various productions and restaurants and retailers. We'll just do a little bit of an extended version on the fish collection and delivery. Didn't really show that in yesterday's episode, and we'll do it on a bit of a time lapse. We'll just continue chatting while that's on the go about the various things that we have planned. So the next thing that we're going to do is, once we've finished our morning chores, is we're going to buy the piece of land at the bottom end of the border of this farm, just across the road, and that backs onto the river. And I have some exciting plans for that. I'm not going to reveal those just yet, just keep you guessing a little bit. And yeah, something completely different to start with. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about it actually. But we'll show you that. I'll say in the last third of this video you'll be able to see that. In the meantime, we'll just get all these fish loaded. This is a bit of a laborious task. I have got this on. I've sped it up quite a bit. But I think it's probably one of those things that you haven't seen in the entirety yet. I know I've showed the beginning and the end of it, but I thought I'd just spend a little bit of time just to let you know and show you what is involved, just in case you want to do that in one of your own farms. I really do like this fish mod. I kind of like the fact that they have smaller baskets. It's kind of the way I remember seeing fish being sold in the markets. Well, they had them in big cooler boxes, but quite often they would have crates like this, or actually more often than not polystyrene, almost like cooler boxes, and they would have loads of ice. I mean, the fishmongers in the markets pretty much had one of their main investments after their boats and such like, of course, is ice machines, so that they can keep the fish fresh. Of course, I remember quite clearly from standing next to some fishmongers the smell of the sea, if you want to call it that. Yeah, certainly isn't a quiet smell. Having said that, beautiful, beautiful fresh fish. In the markets, although I used to do markets mainly sort of around the cities, a lot of the produce that was being sold in the market was pretty much caught within a few days of it being sold. And that's where the ice comes in, and the refrigeration. And they always had queues, the fishmongers. Always a problem, and very expensive to get fresh fish in the UK, even though we're an island. Strange, I know. But yeah, we get spoilt by frozen stuff. And right, I think that's the last one. Of course, our product is freshwater fish. Having spoken about seawater fish all the time, we do freshwater fish, mainly rainbow trouts. Trout, should I say. We've got quite a few different varieties of trout. Yeah, that's it, all done. Nice little income from there. Right, we'll just clear out the greenhouses. Now, we have had a call from a new customer with regard to strawberries. He makes ice cream. He has a stall in the market, and he wants as near as he can get to 20,000 litres of strawberries. He's obviously going to be making strawberry ice cream, and we're not far off, but we will have to add strawberries from the big greenhouse. So I have brought the refrigerator trailer up, and we'll offload the strawberries into the trailer, into the refrigerator trailer, and then of course we'll collect the rest of the produce and sell it in the markets. Let's add another one on. Just careful not to drive into the wheat field. Yeah, in terms of our expansion projects, the wheat field is going to be fairly important. Certainly for this first crop. And I would imagine you could guess what that is about, but yeah, that's to come. That won't be in this episode, most probably in the next episode. It'll become more apparent. I popped out to check up on the sheet in the pigs a little bit earlier, and they're still all doing okay, growing nicely. Still only got the 6 up there, so they don't require a lot of work. Got plenty of water, they've got plenty of food at the moment, and they're doing well. Right, so we'll get this off to the market. Once again, stall number 1 is offered us a very good price, so we'll sell it to him. It's not too bad. Thought it was finished. Wasn't. Luckily that last pallet just needed a little nudge to fall back flat again. Right, so we're going to deliver the strawberries, and he's asked us to deliver it to his stall on the market, which is just an ice cream cart. So I said to him, but where are you going to keep all the strawberries? He said, don't worry, he's got a trailer very similar to mine, which he'll just get his lads to bring around and pick up the boxes to take to his factory. He has asked me whether we've got any space on any of our land for him to wants to move his factory. And I said to him, well, I'll have a look over the next little while and see if we can make some space for him. And the agreement was that if we do, then he would exclusively buy product from us. So product that we can supply, of course. So mainly strawberries at this stage, but if we do have any cows, then they'll take our milk as well. But we'll worry about that at a later stage. I don't have cows on my radar at the moment for a couple of reasons. You really don't want to do cattle too close to the town. Flies and smells, and of all the farm animals, the cows are pretty much the smelliest. That's in my opinion. And all the animal husbandry farms do have a bit of a smell, but it's like anything else, you get used to them. Yeah, so I've got some plants delivered. That's another 20-odd thousand, 24-odd thousand that we made from there. Of course, we're monitoring that quite closely. Right, so this is the beginning of the expansion now. So we're going to buy this field. There we go. I think it's field 20. It backs right onto the river, and that's where I got the idea for a little bit of diversification that we're going to do. But first of all, let's buy the land, and then we'll take a grass cut off here. We'll do hay for it. We'll store the hay for ourselves this time. First of all, let's get rid of these fences. We don't need fences at the moment. There we go. The fence is gone. So we're going to take the grass cut, and then once we've finished with the grass work, we'll start on the... Well, this is the start of the diversification project, because we need to get the land, and I don't want to just squander the grass. And in any case, I want hay for one of the other future endeavours that I'm hoping to get into. I'm sure that one you can guess just by the fact that I want to keep hay. Right, we'll just show bits and pieces of this job. So we're tedding, and coming directly at us. Not quite directly at us, just about directly at us. Is one of the young lads in the tractor doing the mowing. You can see he's missed a couple of spots. You gets what you pays for, they say. Right, so we're just finishing this off now, just about done. Right, so that's the mowing done. Tedding just about done now. Just got this little sail-shaped area to do. Yeah, a strange kind of shaped field. It's not too much of a problem to harvest it, but yeah, it's not straight up and down, although it looks like it should be. But yeah, most fields are not really straight up and down. Get our trusty cheap tedder, at least a windrower out. Row up the grass. Yeah, it's served us well this. Well, it really hasn't had a lot of work to do. Just finish that off. And then we'll go and get the forage wagon, and we'll pick up the grass. We'll start picking up the grass. or hay should I say. It's no longer grass, and get that into the silo. We'll have to think about also in the future getting a dedicated hay barn if we're going to be doing it on a regular basis. Oh, there we go. I thought I'd just stop and pop in and have a chat to the guys who are putting up our cabins. So our holiday cabins. And that's the diversification. We're going to put up a few holiday cabins which will generate some rental income right on the river. People can fish and come and visit the farm. Of course, we've got the pub just across the road there, which is selling our urban ale and wines that are made there. So yeah, that's the start of that little diversification project should I say, really. Right, so this is the first hay collection. We'll just pop that into the silo. Just keep that there because we're going to be creating some animal pens in the grassland that we've just cut now, so that people can come in. It'll be a bit more than a petting zoo because they will be fully working pens and be producing, and will be expected to produce their upkeep in the main from their product. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why I have not looked at cows yet, because this wouldn't be a good place to have cows, or certainly not in any sort of production capacity because of the numbers that you would need. But it's not completely off the table. We might revisit that. But yeah, so behind there we'll put in a chicken coop and a sheep pen. Of course they do have their smells, but there's no houses directly in contact with it, and I would hope that the people that have come to share nature in the barns that we have along the river here will be okay with a little bit of country smells. It won't be bad because we'll still have it a little bit away from them. So this little area is quite interesting because we'll be able to get another two. Don't know whether we'll be able to afford to put in two today. I think we'll only be able to put another one in that little area, and then we'll also make a little parking lot in it. But we'll have to put a little road through, which we've done there. Little break in the hedgerow. Don't want to take the whole hedgerow down. Just make little access points. So we will have to get that bit of work done on the rough edges around, especially the second cottage. Lovely cottage, lovely view, lovely positioning, but it has a couple of fairly steep gradients. We'll try and smooth those out, maybe put some grass or something like that in them, so that at least it's not just a slippery slope as such. We'll also put a pathway so people won't be able to drive up directly and park next to their chalets or huts or little houses or whatever you want to call them. They're rental properties. They'll have to park in the parking lot and walk down to them. And I've done that specifically. I don't want people to have their cars right up next to the river. I prefer that they park a little bit away, take the time to walk, and people have to think about what they're bringing along with them, and that way I think we'll have a rather nice peaceful and restful accommodation for people on their holidays, people wanting to recharge their batteries. Just put in bit of a pathway here to the different places. Yeah, that's not bad. I like the look of that. We'll have to do a bit of fine tuning, a bit of fine work on this, which we'll probably do in the next episode. I'm not sure whether we'll complete the whole job in the next episode, but we'll certainly be fairly close to the end of the diversification project. And then we'll have to move on to the next project, which I think is going to be the finding a place to establish a clothing factory. And just by virtue of the fact that it's a factory, I don't want it in the town. I could have added it onto the area that we're going to be putting up the sheep pens, etc. There'd be plenty of space there for it. But yeah, I don't want it so close to town. I'm just not sure that, but my feeling is that clothing factories do produce some. It's probably not a huge amount, but they do produce some pollution as such. Mainly when they're in the shrinking process of the fabric. But yeah, industrial stuff I'd like to keep away from the town if possible. Right, well, I think that's where we're going to end this episode. Pretty much a lot has been happening. If you've enjoyed the episode, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode where we develop this nice big area. Thank you for watching, and cheerio.